I'm here today with my two oldest dolls, Molly and... Okay.
Huh? What's this? Whoa. Now that's awesome.
Hey guys, it's AG Lucky 13 Studios here, and today we are just hanging out with my two oldest dolls, Molly and Nellie. Molly and Nellie are super old. They're both over 10 years old. I've had them since I was a kid, and they show their age well, as you can tell just by looking at them. They're a little older looking, a little rattier looking than some of my newer dolls. So I thought that I would show them a little bit of love by giving them each a makeover and trying to restore them as best as I can to their former selves. As you can see, Molly's hair has been cut. It is very dry. It is just horrible in the back. So thin, you can't really do anything with it and make it look nice anymore. She also has a retracted eyelash, which is a factory defect. She also just has some different staining and some loose limbs, but those are fixable. Miss Nellie has also suffered from a haircut or two. As you can see, she's got a very fashionable bob, which I used to love, but I do miss the length. She just has some overall staining and shine spots as well. So we are going to go ahead and get started with their makeovers.
Oh hi, now you're listening to a voiceover for the rest of this video because I played back the footage of me actually talking and I sounded really gross. So here I am, I'm opening the first package and you can probably already tell what it is through the paper, and now you have an even bigger clue as to what I ordered for Miss Molly. Here I am untucking the braids from the inside of the head, things you only hear doll collectors say. I got her a brand new head, and I also got something special for Nellie that I've been meaning to get her for a long time, but I just haven't had the money to. But as you can see, it is a brand new Nellie wig, and it is beautiful and so soft. You can see me touching it and just in awe of how soft and shiny it is, because my Nellie's hair hasn't felt like that in a long time. And we're going to put it back in the hairnet now to keep it safe while I am doing Molly's makeover, because Nellie is going second. And we're going to go ahead and get started with Molly's makeover now. So the first thing that we're going to do after we undress the doll's body is we're going to tighten all of her limbs. And this is me struggling with her neck strings because I double knotted them last time I tightened her head. And I actually ended up having to go and find some tweezers, there they are now, to loosen the knot and help me get those strings untied. And there she is with her head off. And we're going to begin with unstuffing the doll's body. And I am still constantly amazed every time I do this how much fluff actually goes into that doll's body. And it looks like it took no time at all to get her completely unstuffed, but it actually took me like 5 minutes. That's a lot of fluff. And we're still not done. And now we're going to go ahead and get started tightening her limbs using several hair ties. There's tons of video tutorials on this if you want to figure out how to do it. And I like my hair ties to go on there really, really, really tight. So as you can see, I'm twisting them about 100 times, as tight as I can get it. And I'm going to keep twisting until I'm satisfied and test those limbs out to make sure they're not too tight or too loose. And this is the part where I realized something was wrong because the body was like folded or caught in itself. Again, things that you only hear of doll collectors say. So this is me investigating, trying to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it so that she didn't look like an accordion forever. And this is when I realized that her neck string actually got tucked into one of the little hair ties. So there we go. That was super satisfying. And we're going to keep tightening and keep testing the limbs. And keep twisting, pull some random fluff off because she's old and it's gathered around all the rope. And this is the time I realized it did it again. But both the neck strings were out, so I just had to kind of figure out what happened. It actually made a really terrifying pop sound, so I thought for a second her leg might have come off, but it was fine. I don't know what made the pop sound, but it was really scary. And I'm restuffing the body. Again, this took forever, especially since I needed to make sure all the stuffing went evenly and was distributed like across her body so that she wasn't lumpy in one spot and not full in another. And this is me doing the stellar thing where the arms and legs stand up by themselves. I was super excited. Molly hasn't been able to do this in years. And now we get to do my favorite part, which is taking a new magic eraser and cleaning the doll's vinyl. There's just something super satisfying to me about watching all that dirt come off their vinyl and end up on the magic eraser, and knowing that the doll is going to be so clean after and feel so good. I'm just going to do that all over the body until I get most of the stains off, because I recognize some of them are older and just will not come off. And that's okay. This is the part where I took a little nail buff and using a very, very fine edge, I've gently tried to buff off a couple of shine spots, just the major ones on her face and on her arms and legs that really stuck out. And I gently buffed them away. It actually worked a little bit, but I would tell you to be careful if you decide to do this. I also wouldn't recommend using a nail buff. A lot of people use this special grit sandpaper that you buy online. I don't know much about it, but I'll try to link it in my description if I can find it for you guys. Just please be careful if you decide to do this so you don't scratch up the doll's vinyl. And it actually worked. Took that shine spot off. And now we're going to put Molly's head back on, her new head from Mercari. And we're going to tie her neck strings. And she's ready. We're going to go ahead and get her dressed and see what she looks like in the final unveiling. And here she is. I got her dressed, her hair is brushed and styled, and I cannot believe the difference from her first head to this one. It looks identical but somehow different. But I am very excited about this. This is the same doll that I fell in love with years ago when I took her out of the box. Her wig is actually really, really nice. And now it's Nellie's turn. And we're going to repeat a lot of the same steps with Nellie. So we're going to undress her, and we're going to go ahead and start cleaning her vinyl with that magic eraser that I did wash between uses, guys. And we're using the rag to make sure I don't make a huge mess. And also dry any wet spots that may appear on her vinyl or on her cloth body. She had a couple of really stubborn stains from the different clothing pieces, y'all. And it took them right off. I was so excited. We're just going to keep cleaning and keep wiping. I took a lot of extra time on her, and we're going to try to buff out those shine spots because she had a lot. Like a lot. Bless her heart. It looks like I'm torturing her, but it's okay. I'm normally not this rough with them, but I knew I was ripping off her wig, so I was okay with it. And I'm pointing at a shine spot on her forehead to show you guys that it does work. You can see that one on camera. And we're going to go ahead and buff, 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 buff. Very gently again. And keep buffing. And I'm showing you now that the shine spot is gone. Amazing. And now it's time to rip off her wig. She didn't need a limb tightening after all. So we're going to go ahead and put the spoon in her hair. I found a weak spot right by the ear. That's usually where I find a weak spot in these wigs whenever I do a wig swap. And I'm going to use the spoon as a wrench to kind of twist and loosen the wig glue. And as you can see, I got the wig halfway off. This was a record-breaking time, I think, for removing a doll's wig. And we're going to rip the rest of it off and cut off her creepy little hairs. Because, ew. This took a second because she had a lot. And we're going to take out her new wig from Mercari as well. Same seller. Thank you so, so much. You know who you are. And here we go. We're going to put it on her. And this is a part where I was like super, super shocked because I was like, I remember you. Nellie hasn't had hair this length or this nice in years. So it was super surreal to see her like this again. And this was me in total awe. I was just like, oh my gosh, hi. I've missed you. Her wig looks a little funky right now, but I'm going to style it and it'll look better. I haven't glued it down yet just because I'm trying to get it placed exactly where I want it and styled exactly the way I want it before I glue it down permanently. And here's what they look like now. So beautiful. Bye now.